Hey guys, make sure you are subscribed to our channel and turn on notifications so you know all of our latest posts, and follow us on Twitter and TikTok to come chat some wrestling with us and see clips from our latest videos and podcasts. But now, let's get into the video.
Hello, hello. What is up, everyone? Coming at you again. It is C2 Wrestling with a new video. This time, though, we're coming at you a little bit differently today. This is a solo video. C1 Wrestling today. C2 will return. Your boy Chris is traveling right now. He's up in the air. He's in a plane. He will land eventually and record another video eventually. Until then, it's just me. Had to catch Monday Night Raw tonight. A lot of great things on this show. It was another solid episode, but there's one thing I want to discuss with my fans, the C2 Wrestling fans, and that is one of my more so favorite wrestlers right now, favorite storylines they got going. It's one of those things that has me most in tuned. I'm questioning, where are they going? What are they doing? And it is simple. I'm a big Bronson Reed fan, and I'm loving what they're doing. I want to see more. I want to see where they're going with him. There's a long road ahead. He is pretty fresh talent, pretty new to the company in a way. I know he had a stint in NXT. He was gone for a while. He came back. He's still pretty fresh for me. So I love seeing him all over Raw. I want to see him as much as we can every week. But what I'm loving particularly is just their overall direction. They are really making Big Bronson Reed to be the most unstoppable force we've ever seen at this point. He is looking like $1,000,000. They're painting the tsunami to be the most deadly move in wrestling. And I love it. I've been saying it for ages. The tsunami is one of the greatest moves they got going, one of the most devastating moves in wrestling. I could really only put it on the level of the tombstone. That's another one. If you hit a tombstone, you should not be getting kicked. You should not be kicking out of that. The pedigree is up there with one of those moves. You should not be kicking out of a pedigree. The tombstone, the pedigree, the tsunami, those three, they should be locks. That is a deadly, deadly move. I'll give you one more too, honorable mention. Not even honorable. It's in there. Bonsai drop. We love in C2 Wrestling. We love a good bonsai drop. It's one of the greatest moves in wrestling history. We're here for Bronson Reed, though. We'll talk about Yokozuna in another podcast. Bronson Reed, they did book him for a match next week with Braun Strowman, another big guy. I will mention a former champion. That is a former Universal Champion right there in Braun Strowman. A win over him for anybody is a big win. Just because Braun, is a monster among men, literally, is a monster himself. A win against him already does wonders. But now you're doing Big Bronson Reed, this guy who you're putting on TV as the strongest force in the company. You're putting him over the other strongest force in the company in Braun Strowman, paying this guy to be $1,000,000. It's a great start. There's a lot of potential matchups for Bronson Reed here. I don't know where they're going post Braun Strowman. And it's interesting because Rollins hopefully comes back at a point. I know he's dealing with some chronic pain, chronic injuries we've been seeing online, if that is true. We all hope for the best for Seth. I'm really hopeful to see him return soon. That is the ultimate Bronson match right now, is Bronson versus Seth, of course. But until then, you put Bronson over Strowman. Let's just say that's the way that goes. Then what? It's a little tough. I love what they did tonight, getting him in a more so match with The Miz. A lot of weapons involved, which I'm a fan of. It's not often we get heavy weapon usage like that on Raw. We haven't in a while, so I liked that it was a solid match. Bronson Reed goes over, of course. Braun Strowman comes out. And now they have a match next week. Cool. So maybe they have a few week feud, rivalry. And in the long run, Strowman loses. It really seems like Bronson is going to be the one to go over here. Where do you go? You don't really want to pit the heel Bronson versus the heel Braun Breaker in an intercontinental title feud. Maybe you give Bronson a world heavyweight title match against Gunther. I don't know. That's still kind of heel versus heel. I know Gunther kind of floats this line. He's so over with the fans. He's almost not even really a heel to me. maybe this is fantasy booking like we do here at C2 Wrestling. You know, we like to speak our mind, speak our opinions, whatever we're thinking of. We're yet to see it. Trade him. Get Nick Aldis involved. Maybe Adam Pearce has had enough of Bronson Reed and the destruction around Monday Night Raw. Maybe we even see Bronson Reed hit Adam Pearce with a tsunami. Chris and I have even toyed with the idea of them banning the tsunami, and Bronson Reed just keeps hitting it, keeps disobeying, hitting the tsunami, knocking people out of competitions, you know, kicking them off the roster. They're gone. All these guys he's been kicking the crap out of aren't even really on TV. It's a devastating move. But there's not maybe as much opportunity for Bronson on Raw right now. I personally would love him to feud. This is maybe random, but with Drew McIntyre, I think that's somebody I'd love to see him feud with on Raw. But I think you maybe have to get him over to SmackDown. I think if you have him go over Braun, and then if you even have him go over Rollins, and say Rollins does come back, maybe you get him to SmackDown. Maybe Adam Pearce cuts him. I've had enough. You're fired off the Raw roster. Nick Aldis picks him up real quick. Maybe Bronson takes the U.S. title off of LA Knight. Now, again, that's fantasy booking. The brands are split. I don't think that's going to happen. But it would be pretty good. It would be pretty cool. I think so. You know, we haven't had a big guy like this in a while. I know Braun, again, as I mentioned, is a former champion. But it was a different time. It was a different era. That was even a COVID time frame, COVID era. It's crazy to think what we could get here. We could get a lot of great stuff with Bronson. I think he's a fantastic talent. I love his look, his style. Again, the tsunami, hats off to anybody that takes that move. That move looks incredibly hard to take. I'm here for where they're going with Bronson Reed. It is, in my opinion, and there's a lot going on right now with Raw. There's a whole new Judgment Day. There's Gunther and his world title. Braun Breaker's the new IC champ. Tag titles are mixed in. Rhea's been back, feuding with Liv. There's so much going on. And Bronson Reed, I think, has my full attention on Raw. That is what I'm most tuned into right now on Raw. Don't get me wrong. If they were to announce next week, Bronson, he's not on Raw next week, travel, something, who knows? I'm still tuning into Raw. I got to catch the Judgment Day and everything else going on. But particularly Bronson Reed has me tuning into Raw, putting that volume up, snacking on some popcorn, eyes focused. I need to see what's next. And for what's next, there's C2 Wrestling. We got a lot coming at you. Chris and I have been working pretty hard in the studios, and we got some new content coming your way. We've been loving the interaction with you guys. It's been great. You guys know the drill. Like and subscribe. Go down below. Comment on this video. Go watch our other videos. A lot of great discussions. Judgment Day was one of our more recent postings. We did a whole discussion on where are they going next with the Judgment Day. There's a lot of good things coming at you. You know where to find us. YouTube, C2 Wrestling. Twitter, C2 Wrestling. TikTok, C2 Wrestling. I'm Chris, a.k.a. Snowden. Your other boy, Chris, again, he's flying back right now. He'll be in the next video with us. Don't miss out. We got more coming your way. New podcast this Thursday. Check it out. We got some reviews. We got some new action coming to you. C2 Wrestling, baby.